Rated E for everyone.
Alright. Definitely remember the trailer being a lot better than that. Alright guys, so this is the last stream before Christmas, so figured I'd do a holiday greeting. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and as usual, if you got a problem with Happy Holidays, then I really don't care. Alright, so welcome to the Game Preserve. My name is Jagger Newman, and I'm the warden in these parts. And tonight we are playing Knight's Journey of Dreams. This is the 2007 sequel to the Sega Saturn classic, Nights into Dreams. So, Nights into Dreams was something of a passion project by Sonic Team. It really just came about out of their desire to create something different from what they had become known for with the Sonic series. And despite that, it still ended up doing pretty well, all things considered. It was a commercial success in addition to a critical success, and it would probably go on to become the most popular game ever released for the Sega Saturn. However, based on that, you can probably guess that the game wasn't that successful outside of the Sega Saturn. A success on the Saturn is really the equivalent of average performance anywhere else. So, Nights into Dreams would really only maintain a cult following in the years that followed, mostly due to frequent references in other Sega games, namely the Sonic series. Despite that, however, there was always desire from within Sega to do more games with Knights. In fact, there was a game for the Sega Genesis called Air Knights, not Genesis, the Dreamcast, that was very close to completion before the console bit the dust and it was canceled. It also didn't help that there was a lot of pushback on more Knights games from Sonic Team. Yuji Naka in particular always felt that Knights would have been better served as a standalone game, mostly because he just couldn't come up with any concrete reason as to any concrete way to continue the series gameplay-wise. So, Knights was put on the back burner as Sega moved into third-party development, but in 2005, I want to say, Yuji Naka would end up leaving Sonic Team and Sega altogether, and not too long after that, another game was put into production. And I actually remember Sega having a lot of faith in this one too. Though Knight's Journey of the Dreams has been largely forgotten, I do remember Sega putting their marketing weight behind this back in the day. There were commercials on TVs, there were ads all over the game sites I was frequenting at the time. There were even ads in comic books at the time. I remember several of my Archie comics having ads for Knight's Journey of Dreams. So maybe Sega put their top men on this one to create one hell of a follow-up to such a beloved classic. Unfortunately, that's not the case because the guy they put in charge to direct this also made that. Oh, this isn't going to be good. Alright, so let's just go ahead and get this started. So, as how I'm going to be playing Knights for the stream, I'm going to be playing it on an emulator, mostly because the copy I ordered for whatever reason didn't make it here in time, despite the fact that I ordered it 2 weeks in advance. I think something's going on with that. Thankfully, the place where I usually get my ROMs from, Knight's Journey of Dreams hadn't been scrubbed from it yet, so I'll be able to play it, thank Lifeson. I guess you could call that a Christmas miracle. Yeah, I'm not actually playing with the Wiimote, though. More on that later. That's a nice touch. That's the same prompt from the Sega Saturn game, though I kind of missed the animation of it appearing in the water or whatever. And fuzzy image quality aside, that's actually well, I was gonna say it was a good image, but something's going on with that human right there. Art-wise, Sega did try to make this game, the setting of the game, resemble Europe, because they felt that Sonic mostly leaned towards the American side of things, so they thought basing the game off of European architecture would give Knights a unique feel. And I agree, that's basically how it was in the original game, too. Okay, so I don't know if this cutscene is laggy in the original game either, but I'm willing to guess that that's the result of the emulator. I don't think this game emulates particularly well. I've been screwing around with the settings all day and I haven't been able to get it to work right. It is making me think of the old Saturn game, though. I'm sure this must have been very exciting for diehard fans of the game who had been waiting for a follow-up for so many years. Must have been very cathartic to see Knights looking so clean and moving so fluidly. It is kind of a cheap looking title screen too because it is a 2D image, but you know, it does work. I mean, everything is beautifully rendered, the colors are nice, like that purple they picked for the title is just perfect. And the subtitle of Journey of Dreams, it does work, so yeah, not bad. There you go here and pick a new file. Bladeslinger's Game Preserve. What was it with Wii games for the time insisting you pick your country? Then again, that trailer did say Knights had an online component, didn't it? Okay, so in regards to the controls of this game, one of the things that Knights in the Journey of Dreams was criticized for when it first came out were its controls. The game, you do have the option to use motion controls in this game, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, they are awful, so do not use them. You have the option to use a classic control or a GameCube controller. In my case, a gamepad. So thankfully, you don't have to put up with the motion controls. I'm glad Sega put that option in there, instead of trying to force a control scheme that they knew wasn't going to work. And just like in the original game, you can play as two different characters, a boy and a girl, in this case, Will and Helen. And I gotta say, right off the bat, I don't really like the designs of these two characters. The two characters from the original game, so I can't remember their names. They had very distinct character designs with color palettes and everything. So I feel like they kind of dropped the ball there. But anyway, let's go ahead and play as Will. Why do I suddenly want to watch Ted Lasso? Ugh. What is up with the human characters here? That's some messed up looking Uncanny Valley. The father there especially, he's got some major proportion issues. I think the kid has some proportion issues too. His head is huge. Is he wearing a fanny pack? Man. Look at those eyes. That is genuinely terrifying, I must admit. Okay, so what was that last bit about? This is gonna be very strange, isn't it? That's weird. The hell is up with that music? I do like the sky though, that's kind of cool. Oh, it's got the same sound effect from the Saturn game too, that's neat.
Visitor from another world. Welcome.
Oh no, there's voice acting. This isn't gonna be good.
Time here.
Oh no! It's the owl from Ocarina of Time. What are you doing here?
Well, since long before you were born. I'll bet that you're wondering just where here is, eh? Well,
Not really.
have the things you've seen when you're asleep ever felt particularly real to you? Have you ever thought
Yeah.
sure that it all had to be something more? Well,
I try not to think about that, because that would be disturbing if that was the case.
is really this world.
A world of dreams?
Precisely. This is the night dimension. The place people make their way to when they're asleep.
Huh.
This area here is known as the Dream Gate.
That was a weird cut.
Oh, well, if it isn't that carefree little rascal again.
Hey, now this one looks interesting.
Okay.
My name is
Knights is talking.
What's yours? I'm Will. Will, huh? Say, Will.
I'm not sure how I feel about that voice.
If you dualize with me, you can check it out for yourself.
Not sure if it's fitting. The whole idea with Knights is the character design is supposed to be androgynous. You know, Knights is a nightmare, so it's not male or female. And I don't know, with the eyes and that voice, you kind of get the sense that Knights is a lady based on that. I think they should have tried some different voice actors to try to get something that, you know, you hear it and you can't decide if the character is male or female. Kind of like the characters in Bluey, now that I think about it. Did I really just acknowledge that I've watched Bluey on this thing? Damn it, Star. Okay, so one thing that I'm not liking so far is there's a lot of exposition happening here. And that was one of the issues I had with Knights when I played it last year, that you just kind of, you know, fall into the game without much context. But the more I thought about it, it kind of made sense, because when you start to dream, you're just kind of thrown into it. You don't necessarily remember, like, waking up or anything. So that was kind of fitting, and then as you play the game, you slowly started to realize what was happening. And it was all done without dialogue. It was all done through the visuals, which is really cool. So I've read that they decided to give Knights a voice because they thought it would add more depth to the story. But honestly, I feel like they're kind of cheapening it. Getting into the gameplay now. I gotta be real, there's something off about the controls here. Like when you use a basic control, You basically just control knights like you did in the original game, using the stick to move it around, and a button to do the spin attack. But I don't know. It doesn't feel as smooth as it did on the Genesis. Like I'm moving straight right now, and I'm actually starting to tilt down. And it only seems to start moving knights when I reach a certain point. It's almost like the character can only fly in specific directions, rather than having that full 360 movements that you got from the original game that made it so satisfying to control.
Well done. Well.
And this tutorial is just very tiring, too. It's not like, with the original game where you just kind of figured things out on your own. And that worked because Knights wasn't that complex a game when you really got down to it. It was easy to play but difficult to master. Like, this isn't rocket science to play, so the fact that they felt the need to include this tutorial without a means to skip it just... I don't know. Already I kind of get the sense that they're cheapening Knights a little bit. Man, this feels so weird. I'm also a little irritated at the angle. With the original Knights game, you mostly looked at Knights from a 2D perspective. But here, there's a slight angle to it, which I also think is screwing with the controls just a little bit. I'm not sure how they mucked up the controls, considering that was easily the best part of the original Knights game. That one-to-one feeling of the joystick, that wherever you put it, Knights would go there, and then that movement of rotating the stick and making Knights do a loop. That was just so much fun. But it's just off here.
You may never return.
Okay, that wasn't bad for your first time. Let's get back to the Dream Gate.
I'm also not a huge fan of these graphics either. Like, obviously, the graphics in the original Knight haven't held up tremendously well. It's a Saturn game, for crying out loud. But there was a lot of ingenuity with them, and the creativity on display with the different levels and all the set pieces. It was really cool. And it looked even better when they brought it into HD with the PlayStation 2 version, which will later serve as the version for the high-definition port that we have today. It's weird how that version looks a lot better than this one.
That's amazing, Will. Most visitors end up losing their Idia on their way here.
Idia?
But that Idia creates the paradise called Knightopia. Let's check it out. A paradise? That's right. I'll see you there.
I do wish that Knights would sit still just for once. Oh well, I suppose I'll finish telling you the rest in Knightopia then.
I'd honestly prefer if you would stop talking, Al. I guess this is a loading screen. I guess it does kind of make me think of the startup screen from the original, now that I think about it. That music is just really weird, too. Like that, I guess you call it a choir of kids? I don't know, it's just not creating that same effective atmosphere that the original did. You know, that jazzy lullaby.
Wow, this is Knightopia. Hey, Will, over here.
Allow me to introduce the Knightopians. They are the residents of this world. They are kind.
Oh my god.
Now love to see.
What did they do to the chow? Ugh.
What's the matter?
And then there's this asshole.
Knights, where's your persona? Took it off again, did you?
Riala, did you come all the way here just to nag me?
I go out of my way, and this is how you treat me. Seize the traitor.
Hey! Let me go! Knight!
You seriously couldn't get away from those knights?
No match for that one.
Listen to the old bird, boy. Now go, you three. Go and lock up the prisoner. I will return shortly.
Those were nightmares from the dark realm of nightmare.
Okay, can we just call them nightmares? Because nightmaring sounds really stupid.
So they can destroy Nightopia. But wait,
Huh?
you have the red Idia. I believe you may be able to neutralize that cage. If you can get into the cell and then duelize with knights, the both of you will be able to escape.
Really?
Yes, of course.
See, they're just explaining everything. Like, the more I think about it, was all this really necessary?
The gods before being dragged back to the cell.
Well, that makes me think of the original game at least. So, in the original game, there's a process, but Journey of Dreams instead adopts more of a mission-based format. So you have different objectives as you play through the game. And you know what? That's actually not a bad design choice. It does add a bit more variety to the game, which, if you're going to make a longer nights, is a wise choice. So right here, I'm kind of doing something similar to the original game, but rather than trying to collect chips to open up the cage, I'm chasing down these birds here. I do have to admit, though, like this right here, this actually isn't too bad. I mean, it doesn't play as well as the first game by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, this is still a lot of fun. It's still fun to just fly through the air. Flying through the rings is satisfying because of that sound effect. And you're actually chasing something here, so there's a fun speed quality to it. It's definitely got a nice pace to it. Get back here. I feel like the backgrounds are a little light, though. It doesn't feel as alive as it did in the original game. Having fun with the shifting perspectives, too, as they should. That was one of the better ideas that Sonic Team had with the original Knights. Choosing to stick to a 2D plane for gameplay actually worked out in the game's favor because it allowed them to focus on controls rather than, you know, figuring out how the game should work in 3D. There actually were plans to try and make this a full 3D flyer initially in development, but the developer, to his credit, decided that it didn't make for a very fun game, so that idea was scrapped in favor of the 2D gameplay. So, yeah, the last game he worked on was garbage, but, you know, he was genuinely trying with this one. I do have to give him the credit for that. There's still some choices I don't agree with, but this so far isn't that bad. There's a face only a mother could love. Guess we got ourselves a boss fight here. There's another face only a mother could love. Gongala! Yeah, definitely reminiscent of the first boss fight from the original game. But I kind of prefer that one to this one because the setting in that fight was just a little bit cooler, I would say. Yeah, laugh it up, big boy. Like, just the Knight's theme right there. There's something off about it. Like, there's this extra guitar chorus added to it that just kind of sounds like it shouldn't be there. I feel like the producer was overproducing it a little bit. I think it was actually one of the guys from Crush 40 who did the music for this game.
Oh, splendid job, visitor. Defeating that giant nightmare was no small feat. Whoo!
No, that was just Knight's power.
Even so, you mustn't rest on your laurels just yet. All visitors originally
Rest on my
had a total
laurel.
of
What?
5 different idia. Fortunately, you've managed to hold on to your idia of courage. The remaining 4 are the idia of purity, intelligence...
Like, we're almost halfway through the stream here, and
white, blue,
I'm still getting exposition. Holy crap, dude.
until you retrieve all of the idia, Nightopia cannot become whole. Idia are the very source of Nightopia. The fact that Nightopia currently exists at all means that the other idia must be someplace in this world, very likely hidden. Listen closely, visitor. These idia are of your very heart. Retrieve the remaining 4 idia, and your heart will win out over the Nightmaren.
Gee, no pressure or anything.
You needn't worry, visitor. Knights will be with you. And I shall do what I can to keep an eye on you, and help you out to the best of my ability.
I feel like you've given me more help than I need right now, Al. Dude, that character's face, that's beyond deadpan. It's like parts of his body are stylized and other parts of his design want to be realistic. It's like, I can't seem to make a choice with this one. As for what this is right here, the Nightopians are out and about in the various missions you undertake, and they will end up there if you paraloop them. It's essentially a mini Chow Garden, which is where the online component comes in. You can invite people to check out your Nightopian Guardians. I wonder how many people actually use that feature, considering that I don't think a lot of people played this game. Like, I don't think that Journey of Dreams was necessarily a commercial failure. Like, every copy I've ever seen of this game doesn't even crack $15, so they must be in large supply, not necessarily high demand, but I really do not remember people talking about this game when it came out. I remember it coming out, but I have never met anyone who has ever played it. I think I think Steffi played it once, but I don't think she really liked it. Something about a friend of her being obsessed with knights at the time.
When he flies, he expels a series of rings.
Hey, he ran off. Come on, Will. Shall we have some fun? Let's follow him. Let's see how many of those rings we can fly through.
Shouldn't we be looking for the idiot knights? Yeah, so the mission here is to just fly through the rings. Which with these controls is a little tricky. It's hard to keep knights on a straight path. Not terribly difficult, though. It's like I got a message from someone. That's actually Steffi right there. Ah! You know, I don't think the issue with the backgrounds is necessarily that they don't have the same depth that the original game did. I think it's really the color choice for them. The color palette here just seems really washed out. It isn't as vibrant as it is in the original game, so it doesn't have that same graphic appeal that it had. Oi. Ah, missed some. As I said, this is still pretty fun. And it's kind of refreshing to focus on precision in your flying here in a different way from the original game. I actually really do like the mission-based structure in this game. It's just, there are other design choices that sort of irritate me here. And again, those controls just don't feel like they have the same level of polish that the Sega Saturn game did. Which is weird considering how good analog sticks have become in the modern day. And I feel like this mission is going on for a little too long. Aye. Stupid octopus. It's just going on and on and on. It's getting old. There we go. Alright, let's see what Steffi's saying. Okay, so Steffi's saying here that she never actually played a Knights game, but she had a friend that she would talk to on the internet who was so obsessed with it that they actually wrote a fan fiction about it. That actually doesn't surprise me. Knights does really still have its fans. And given how frequently the character has appeared in Sonic games, I feel like there's a lot of overlap between the fan bases. I swear, I was really only aware of this game because I was such a big Sonic fan. Am still a big Sonic fan. Ah, the game's starting to lag. Oh no. This is what I get for using an emulator.
Right. Yeah, I'm fine. Knights, look. Huh? What is it? The Nighttopians sure look happy, don't they? Yeah, they do. Near my house, there's a park where all these dandelions grow. My dad used to take me there to play all the time. Your dad? Yeah, my dad, you know.
Did they have to give Knights a crack?
Oh, a father. I suppose you could call him that. Yeah, well, what kind of guy is he? What's going on? Look over there! Oh no! The Nighttopians are getting something.
Yeah, Steffi's talking about the game's audio. That's a result of the emulator, I imagine. Again, like, I don't think this game emulates terribly well. I looked up the best settings for it, and I have them in place, but it's still lagging in places. Okay, so now I gotta save the Nighttopians from being sucked into a black hole, because why not? Where are they at? There they are. A little tricky to do here since they're moving upwards, so you kind of have to lead them. There's one. You gotta start your hair loop underneath them, like that. And again, making inventive use of the gameplay here. This is a good premise. Hang on, little buddy. I'm a-comin'. You do loop-de-loop and pull, and your shoes are looking good. You go over and back, left to right, loop-de-loop and you pull them tight, like bunny ears or a Christmas bow. Lace them up and you're ready to go. You make a loop-de-loop and pull, and your shoes are looking good. I got SpongeBob on the brain, I guess. I should cover a SpongeBob game for the stream sometime. There's some good games in that franchise. Nah. I feel like this mission is starting to drag on a little long, too. I don't see any more. Where'd they all go? Well, I saved them all, so... must not have done a very good job. Man, I wish my copy had arrived in time. Should have been delivered yesterday, but didn't arrive for whatever reason. I'm gonna be pissed if I walk outside after the stream is over and find that the copy has been delivered. Oh well, it'll be something I'll be happy to have in my collection. I doubt it'll be a while before I play this again, though. I mean, what I've played so far, this isn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just... it's not immediately hooking me in like the original Knights did. There's just something that's off about it. I feel like these loading screens last a little too long, too.
Wow, everyone sure looks like they're having a good time.
You think so? I don't think they look nearly as happy as you do.
Huh?
How can you tell, Knights? His expression doesn't change.
It never made me think about my dad. He always used to take me there when I was little.
Good job, Will. That's my boy. Sounds kind of demented.
Wiseman. Wiseman?
Wise man the Wicked.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, when I would see his name spelled out, I actually thought it said Wizman the Wicked.
It's too fast.
Well, then we'll just have to use that to our advantage then, won't we?
Huh? What do you mean?
It's kind of weird the Knights is doing the Sonic thing, even though it doesn't have a nose. Such that dude! I think this is the game that really introduced Knight's ability to shapeshift. Something that would be incorporated into some of its appearances in other games. In Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, when you play as Knights, it actually transforms into a car with a Knightopian driving it. So, yeah, it's creative, I suppose. Doesn't control exceptionally well, though. Not bad, not good, just is. To the side! To the side! That music doesn't really make me think of Knights all that much either. The way Knights is there right there. Kind of looks like a penguin, doesn't it? I wonder if you played this with just the Wii mode on its own, if you had to hold it sideways. I've never bothered to play Journey of Dreams with the motion controls because why would I? Hitting the button to move on. Oh, I clicked on... I was getting a weird message from YouTube. I wanted to check it out. So that's not getting enough data for the stream to come in clear, but still looks like it's fine. Is my sound still good? Sounds like it. Hey Steffi, if you're watching, can you let me know if anything weird is going on with the stream right now? The weird sound issues aside. Alright, so what's next?
Knights? I think something's coming.
I'll bet I know what it is. I think we're about to see what's behind all the trouble here. Let's go, Will.
Wait, do we gotta fight that same boss again? Looks like it. All right, big fella. It is satisfying to launch these guys into stuff. A little difficult to see where you're aiming it, though. As easy as I'm probably making this look right now. Quit laughing at me. Okay, I guess I can't immediately rebound. See, it's hard to judge the angle there. Maybe some kind of indicator to tell me what direction it's gonna go would be nice. Whoa. Not cool. Come here, you. It's actually getting surprisingly tricky. Ah! Didn't time that right. What are you laughing at? You laughing at me? Up yours. Ha 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 ha. stupid thing. Oh, come on. That was worth a B, I would say. Oh, that's what those videos are. That's the jewels you had to collect in the original Knights game.
This is the purity that was missing from my heart.
Again, a little too much talking here. I think it would have been better if they left a lot of its objective like it was in the original game.
So Don Belon has fallen.
I read somewhere that
Please, Master, give me one more chance.
Wise Man here is actually voiced by the same guy who does Black Doom and Shadow the Hedgehog. I can't really confirm or deny that, but I can definitely hear the similarity in the voice.
Master Wiseman, I have the perfect plan.
Very well, but do not fail me again.
Yes, my master.
Ooh, a box. Is it gonna do that thing from Zelda where he holds it up in the air? Let's see. Ah. Come on now. Seven minutes left on the stream.
So this is the new Nightopia.
Not a very popular stream, I see.
It's a little lonely.
Then again, I don't think a lot of people were excited about me looking at the follow-up to Knights.
Reflection of a visitor's heart.
Also doesn't help, a lot of people might still be upset with me. I got some hate for my thoughts on Sonic 3, but let's not go into that one.
Huh? Missing from my heart?
Ah, there you are. I've been searching all over for you.
What the hell do you want?
You!
Oh, how I've waited for this moment. The opportunity to get you all alone, dear visitor.
Stay back, Ria.
I need an adult.
Harm the visitor.
Stay out of this, old timer.
Ow!
I seriously need an adult.
Should I go about getting what I want?
Get your hands off him, Riala.
Late for the party, aren't we, Knights? The visitor is coming with me.
I'm not letting you do that.
Tisk tisk. The visitor's life is in my hands. You can just stay right where you are. That's a good boy.
So wait, is Knight's a boy? I haven't been paying attention. What have they been referring to as Knights as?
Don't hurt me, Knights.
Let him go.
You're still worried about the visitor in the state you're in? Well, okay then. I suppose I only need to bring you back to Master Wiseman. But not until I get rid of this meddling little visitor once and for all.
No! Riala, don't!
Move, kid.
Will!
Riella, you're creepy, dude. Or... it? I don't know. I don't care.
Where am I? Oh no, Knights! I've got to find Knights!
Anyone else think that he's in Twinkle Park?
Knights, I'm sorry.
Hey, do you live here?
This is getting weird.
You're the first human being I've seen in this world.
No, I was sent here from another world. Something awful has happened to my friend, and it's all my fault. I've got to hurry and get back to my own world.
Your friend?
Yeah. He's waiting for me to help him. If I could just find the door, I'd be able to get back.
Are they referring to Knights as a he?
That's how I got here.
Really? Then please, you've got to take
Man,
me there.
this
I don't
so
want to
confusing.
Be a pain, but
I
don't
should have
know
brought Star
anything
for this
about
one.
place, and
Don't you worry. I will take you there.
You know, with how deadpan her face is, I would assume she's some kind of puppet.
it's the door. Thanks. Now I can get back to my world.
No problem. I hope your friend is okay.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Will.
Hi, Will. I'm Helen. Be careful out there, okay?
Yeah, I will. Thanks again, Helen.
Uh-huh. Weird. So, I guess I go back to that door? That whole thing was just kind of pointless, I would say. I might as well call it right there. It's not going to be any more time for me to really do anything here. Okay, so Knight's Journey of Dreams. It's not really bad. It's not really that good either. There are some things that it does that I do think are improvements on the original game. I do like the variety in the mission structure. Honestly, that's about it, now that I think about it. And it's not that anything else in the game is necessarily bad. I don't think the presentation is that bad. It's nothing amazing. The gameplay isn't that bad. It just doesn't feel as good as it does in the Saturn game. And I would say probably the weakest part of it is the story, which, like, despite it technically having more depth than the original game, just doesn't hit as hard either. I mean, there's just something off about Journey of Dreams. Like, you just play it, and you kind of get the sense that maybe there was a reason that Yuji Naka didn't want to do a sequel to Knights. And the more and more I think about it, what could you do for a Knights sequel? I mean, it's not terrible. There's nothing grossly wrong with Journey of Dreams. it just kind of is. So I would say if you're a fan of the original Knights, this is worth checking out. But anyone else, I would say you're better off just sticking to the original game. There are better games you can play in this. There are worse games you can play, but there are better games you can play than Journey to Dreams. But anyway, that's going to do it for tonight, guys. If you enjoyed tonight's content, please be sure to like and subscribe. I do these videos every Saturday at 8 o'clock. And what I do is I take a video game, I play for an hour, and just talk about the design of it, because I'm really passionate about that stuff. I do not play games from start to finish, because I feel like you lose something if you aren't playing the game yourself. Though no disrespect to anyone who consumes video games by watching other people play it on YouTube. If there is a game that you would like me to cover in this format, please leave it in the comments. If I think it's worth playing, I'll be sure to take a look at that. But other than that, have a good Christmas, everyone, or whatever holiday you celebrate. I'll see you next time.